Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Season 3, Episode 10, the finale of Peacock's House of Villains, titled It Feels So Good to Be Hated. Last week on House of Villains, Kate broke a tie to eliminate Little Trumpet playing Tom, and after a lot of drama about the challenge and Jiz's graduation, supervillain Christine's reign came to an end with a unanimous vote to banish Tyson. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist to catch up on the season's recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing for more reality TV recaps. But let's dive into it. The morning after Tyson's banishment, we're down to the final five: Christine, New York, Kate, Paul, and Drita. Christine is in her casual feathered zebra pajamas. Drita puts a hit on Tyson's puppet, and two mobsters come and take him away. He'll be sleeping with the fishes. Paul is ready to turn up the villainy in this finale. Players are given construction uniforms. New York is upset that her gorgeous wig is yet again going through the ringer in this challenge. New York says she feels like Michelle Obama. Ah yes, notorious construction worker Michelle Obama. At the challenge, Joel tells them they'll be playing Screwed Over. The player who hangs onto their rotating screw the longest will win their spot in the final three. Christine tells us she plans to use the money to take care of her son and pay for her lawyer. Joel summons the rest of the crew, all of the eliminated players, who one by one will choose to sabotage one of the final five, screwing them over by increasing the speed of their spinning screw. The rules of the finale are: the winner of this challenge will choose one player to join them in the final three. The other three will form the hit list and compete in one last challenge to join those two facing the jury. Then the jury will vote for a winner. They get started with the screws going slow. Ashley targets Kate. Kate tells us she cares more about House of Villains than she did on Traitors. She actually wants to win. Jackie happily targets Paul, who she thinks took her out of the game. Paul tells us Jackie's mistaken because Paul voted to keep her. Plain targets Christine for betraying and voting for Plain. Johnny targets New York, Tyson, Paul, and Tom Sandoval targeting Kate is her last screw, taking Kate out of the competition. No one targeted Drita. She's hanging on her slow-ass screw. Joel tells them to move to the bottom rung, which is smaller. New York falls down. She blames Johnny, who she tells us needs an enema because he's full of shit. Paul falls next. It again all comes down to Christine and Drita. Christine points that toe. I love this form. Christine tells us she loves three-ways. That's why she wants to be in the final three. Then Drita falls, meaning Christine and her gorgeous form wins this challenge and earns her place in the final three. Drita is happy that Christine won. She's forgiven Christine for spitting loads into her cup in the last challenge. After last week, Christine winning this was the most interesting outcome. Lifetime notes: is she going to take Drita to the end or betray her again? Because Drita will kill her. The eliminated players join the final five in the house, with Plain especially looking to stir the pot and create fake drama for TV. The bromance are back in the super bed, cuddling and eating fruit. Also, Tom is dressed like a Victorian doll. Jackie tells us she's had FOMO. She absolutely has not thought about this show once since she was eliminated. Maybe not once while she was there. Ashley is alive and well. She puts on a clown wig and does a dance. It's giving the person who calls out of work one day and the next day cartwheels into the office. Drita lays out Christine's options, telling Christine she can either take Drita or someone else. Christine probably needed that explanation. Christine tells Drita that she'll be picking her, which makes Drita emotional. They hug it out. Paul meets with Christine next, telling Christine that everybody loves Drita and wants her to win, evidenced by Drita being cheered for by the entire jury at the challenge. Christine tells us her heart is telling her to take Drita, but her brain is telling her otherwise. Kate and New York are just hanging out. New York is convinced that Christine is taking Drita, so these two don't even try to campaign. Players head to the nomination ceremony, where Christine makes the final hit list nominations. First, New York, who says that season after season she's fighting it out, and Paul, who simply accepts it. Her third nomination makes her emotional, saying she has to think for herself for once. Nominating Drita, saying it's because she knows Drita will win the challenge. Drita is upset. Jackie is upset. Drita tells Christine to stop talking, telling the room that the jury loves her because she keeps it 100, and encourages the jurors who like her not to vote for Christine to win. So Christine has decided to take Kate with her to final three, with Drita telling Kate that Christine took her to the finals because the jury hates her. Later, Kate assures Christine she made the right decision for herself and her son. As Drita hangs out with her friends, the entire jury inside, Christine cries to Jackie, telling Jackie that Drita's had an easy ride, and Christine has been getting gangbanged the whole time. Joel tells them to get dressed up, so they're getting glam to head to the final challenge. The final five's car ride is awkward. Christine tries to apologize to Drita, but Drita pops off on Christine, telling Christine that if she doesn't win this challenge, she will make sure Christine loses. They're sent to the Backstabby Awards, where the hit-listed players will answer questions about superlatives the cast voted for. For example, New York is voted the person none of them want to be in a challenge with. This challenge is a test of how well they know the other contestants, and Drita takes a quick lead over the other two. In the end, Drita ends up winning by multiple points, earning her spot in the final three. Paul got the least amount right, so we lose Paul here in 5th place. I really didn't like Paul on Big Brother, very annoying, the way I celebrated Paul losing Big Brother, but we got a more fun side of Paul here, playing up the villainous side, while also being vulnerable, opening up about feeling like an outcast early on. So yeah, I felt Paul was likable here, not the best strategic game, choosing to just make friends and kind of play both sides, but this version of Paul is great, dare I say. Paul for Traders. And New York, who on her 3rd season of House of Villains, has moved up in placement from 5th to 4th, which is nice. She teams up with Tyson. I like her strategy of latching on to players who know how to strategize, and that she takes the game seriously while still being her silly entertaining self. Hanging around the likes of Wes, Johnny Bananas, Tyson has made her more strategic. Had she beaten Drita in this challenge, which she almost did, she would have been able to give a compelling enough speech. I think she had the votes to win. After 3 seasons on this show, I'm hoping she branches out to a new endeavor. I can't keep watching her lose. House of Villains. It gets to a point. Let's try something new like Dancing with the Stars or Traders. It is insane that she hasn't been on there yet given her relationship with Peacock. Back at the house, some assume that Drita will win, but Christine campaigns that she's played a better game. Kate isn't really trying. She's convinced that she's going to lose. New York has no respect for Drita's game, saying she's just been cooking and making everyone fat. They head back to the stronghold to make their final pleas. Drita says that her villain side is that she'll call people out if they F with her, and she could take on everyone. Christine pulls out a pre-written speech on a crumpled up piece of paper. Christine's speech is a mess. She's stumbling over her words, babbling incoherently. Blaine takes a rest in the middle of Christine's speech. Kate goes last, saying she's had a villain origin story. She had to defend herself a lot, played from the bottom from the beginning, without much support, saying she won her safety twice, arguing that she's clearly the best player, and she dominated the game. Joel sends the jury to vote. In the end, Kate gets 0 votes, finishing 3rd. Christine gets 1 vote from New York, finishing 2nd, and everybody else votes for Drita. So Drita's the winner of this season. She celebrates with her snake crown, and Kate and Christine are jettisoned into the abyss, with Drita giving a massive FU to Christine. So let's talk about these finalists, starting with 3rd place Kate, who I was lukewarm on after her appearances on Traders. She did deliver a few iconic moments there, but I was kind of annoyed by her lack of caring on Traders, especially when it came time to root for her. Here, it started slow, but she starts winning competitions and single-handedly takes out the Power Alliance, saving the season and opening the door for this group to make it to the finale. In the end, they're not instructed to vote for who played the best game or who was the most villainous, just who you like more. So she's paid in dust for her hard work. I loved her on this show. You can tell she really enjoyed the production. So I would like Kate to take New York's spot as the recurring queen. Next, our runner-up Christine, someone who's been on my traders wish list for a while now. She was so fun on Selling Sunset. We got this different version of her here. She was acting so clueless, especially in the beginning in a way that was definitely not real. The things she was saying were beyond silly. I got so frustrated with her for being a non-player in the game, especially with her side down on numbers. She just wasn't a help to them in the beginning. There were fun moments, and in the end, she suddenly becomes a comp beast who also grows a brain and makes the right decisions for herself. Make that make sense. The way she almost won is crazy. Given the earlier frustrations I mentioned, I am removing her from my traders wish list. I don't need to see this again. I know how it will go. And our winner, Drita, who I'm happy was on this cast, but I don't agree that Drita is a villain. She was a hero on Mob Wives. I ran into her in person once, and she was actually the sweetest person. And we saw that here, where she was the house mom, cooking for them, bonding with them, making friends. Even as early as the first vote, when she cast that vote for Jackie, we started getting the narrative that everyone leaving loves Drita. Throughout the season, we got so much personal story with her about her divorce, needing the money for her family, when no one else was getting any content like that. We got Christine saying she wanted the money for her kid in the last minute in this episode, but the show did the least to try to convince us that Drita could possibly lose after she won her way to the final 3. It was over in that moment. We got to see her popping off multiple times, which was a delight to watch. Those moments were the best moments of the season. I can't get enough of it. Drita cursing is my audio stim. Mob Wives was such a good show, man. I love Drita. I want her back on TV. Send this diva to Scotland. I need to see her at a Traders Roundtable immediately. With that, wrapping up my coverage of season 3 of House of Villains. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this finale and Drita's win. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'm also recapping $1 Million Secret and Survivor 50 right now. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye.